We have all heard the phrase over and over again, you shouldn't eat this or don't eat that. But do you really know what makes food good or bad? And why you should really avoid some foods? Hello, and welcome to Saguaro. We're going to share with you the top 5 worst kinds of foods that you should be avoiding at all costs. We're not just going to give you the list, but we're also going to explain why these foods are bad for you. That way you will understand why you have to avoid them. We also hope that this video will give you a good foundation on how to make proper food choices in the future, so you can guarantee living a healthier and longer life. Before we move on to our list, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to see more of our videos for a healthy mind, body, and soul. Here are 5 of the worst foods that you should avoid, like the plague. Number 5. Commercial oils. This refers to vegetable oils and anything used for deep frying. Vegetable oils are not really vegetable oils. They're actually seed oils or bean oils like canola, corn oil, or soybean oil. They are mostly polyunsaturated, which means they are very sensitive to light, heat, and oxygen, and therefore they oxidize and go rancid more quickly. In order to make these oils last longer and make them more stable on the shelf, manufacturers process them very harshly. The end result is a chemically produced and highly enhanced product that is so far from natural food, you don't want to touch them with a 10-foot pole. These oils are pro-inflammatory and very high in omega-6s. When you eat out, try to avoid anything deep fried. If you need to deep fry, do it at home using butter or coconut oil. These are more stable, and you will only use them sparingly. These commercial deep frying oils are harmful to begin with, but they become even more toxic because of the reheating process that can lead to hydrogenation. Oils and fats are not necessarily bad in general. However, bad fats are really bad, so you want to stick with natural fats like extra virgin olive oil, butter, avocado oil, and coconut oil. These are good for the body because they are easier produced naturally. Take olive oil for example. You squeeze olives and olive oil comes out. It doesn't require a complicated process to make, and the use of a lot of heat or chemicals isn't necessary to extract the oil from the olives and make it ready to use. Choose oils like this that require minimal processing because they're good for you. Number 4. Sugar. The only reason sugar isn't number 1 on the list is because sugar is not poison. It still provides fuel. It's just highly refined and highly processed, and because of that, it doesn't provide any building blocks or nutrients for the body. Sugar is the most naturally occurring molecule on the planet. Everything plant-based is sugar: trees, grass, fruits, and vegetables. They're all composed of sugar called glucose. Sugars like glucose become poisonous when they are transformed into commercially manufactured products like refined white sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Then we put these things generously in our drinks and it becomes a bottomless pit. Here are some sugar-laden foods you should really be avoiding: sodas, sweet drinks, sweet teas, energy drinks, popular coffee drinks, and syrups. Then there's a whole new category of overly processed pastries that are topped with tons of sugar, such as donuts, cakes, or cupcakes with frosting. We recommend counting your daily added sugar intake. Try to keep it between 0 and 10 grams per day. Anything above that is starting to be too much. Number 3. MSG, also known as monosodium glutamate. Monosodium glutamate is not a food. It is a flavor enhancer. How does it do that? Glutamate is a natural neurotransmitter in the body. It's something that your body will use to send signals to the brain so that it can transmit messages to excite activity in the body. The problem occurs when you add it from outside, because then you are tricking your body. When MSG reaches your mouth, it tricks your taste buds into more activity. It tricks your brain into thinking that things taste better than they normally are. MSG is like a dream come true for food processing and manufacturing companies. With MSG, these companies can trick you into thinking that everything tastes better, and that makes you crave it all the more. Surprisingly, MSG is also present in salad dressing. Most flavored potato chips, corn chips, or any snack products have MSG. Really, just expect snacks with flavors other than basic salt to have MSG in it. Number 2. Margarine. Margarine is a synthetic, man-made food that is actually a toxic chemical. Making margarine starts off with a synthetic, polyunsaturated plant oil. It is very toxic and very high in omega-6s. It is then bombarded with hydrogens, and a lot of chemicals are then added by shooting them in at high speed, high pressure, and high temperature. The resulting product is then solidified, with the polyunsaturated oil turned into a partially saturated oil and creating a molecule that doesn't exist in nature. When you eat margarine, it is very poorly metabolized and poorly broken down by our bodies. You use fats for body fuel, but you also use them for cell membranes. The structure of the fatty acids in your body will determine the properties of these cell membranes. Your cell membranes act as barriers that decide what can come into the cell and what's supposed to be stopped. It is where the decisions are made. They act like a transistor or a semiconductor. If you have margarine in your body that is not broken down properly, and you are deficient in essential fatty acids, your body is going to start substituting whatever fats are available. Your body is going to start putting margarine, a trans fat, into the cell membranes. This leads to a disruption, altering, or destruction of the signaling properties of your cells. And this situation has been implicated in all kinds of diseases, including cancer. Margarine distorts the body's normal responses in so many different ways that it's best to avoid it altogether. You can have almost the same effects with shortening, partially hydrogenated fats, and other forms of trans fat. Finally, the number one thing that you should avoid if you are trying to stay healthy and live longer is artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners are number one on this list because artificial sweeteners are not food. They don't provide nutrients at all. While some are worse than others, all artificial sweeteners belong to the same category of poison. Let's start with aspartame. It's the absolute worst, followed by sucralose, saccharin, and acetylphonate potassium, or acetylphonate K. Aspartame is present in NutraSweet, sucralose in Splenda, and saccharin in Sweet and Low. Acetylphonate K is usually not sold by itself. It's put in combination with other things. For example, if you see aspartame or sucralose in the label, acetylphonate K is usually present as an add-on. Artificial sweeteners are very bad for you because they can be classified as neurotoxins. They are man-made chemicals. Therefore, they have no function, no position, and no place in our bodies. Aspartame is terrible to the body because when it breaks down, the resulting products are formaldehyde, or embalming fluid, and methanol, or a wood alcohol, which can cause permanent blindness by destroying the optic nerves. And number 3, excitotoxin, a neurotransmitter similar to MSG. You see, aspartame has triple the effect of supertoxic poisonous substances. There are many liver toxicities, kidney failures, and other sorts of autoimmune conditions caused by aspartame. Sucralose is none the better. It is a chlorocarbon, a chemical related to DDT and the rest of the family of pesticides, most of which have been banned in the entire world for being carcinogenic. Stay away from artificial sweeteners and anything that contains them. Be very careful with commercial drinks. The dead giveaway is the word diet. Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, Diet Dr. Pepper. You get the idea. Low-calorie yogurts and some chewing gums have artificial sweeteners in them as well. So, you have to be very careful and read the labels very well when selecting your foods. Those are the 5 worst foods on the planet that you should avoid as much as possible. The reason why you must avoid them is that they are not really foods. They can even be poisonous to our bodies. They will make you sick, and they will certainly shorten your life. What other kinds of foods do you think are the absolute worst that everyone must avoid? Tell us in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Click the notification bell, and please check out our other videos.